Do I want a woman who's going to be out of line, who's going to talk back to me, who could possibly cheat on me, who always going out, hanging out in the club, in the streets?
The
Do I want to go
extreme.
that route? No, that ain't extreme because
It
that's today.
is.
No, stop it. Time
It
out.
is.
Time out.
What
No,
if
no,
you
no,
just
no. We're
had
not
other
doing that.
people that
We're
were
not
showing
doing that.
interest just like
I
you?
just no. Time out. I just gave 6, 7 examples. So would a man want to choose a woman that route? Which
Would y'all say that a man values a woman that's safe?
Hmm.
And if so, what does that look like?
Safe. I don't know. What's that?
Safe or boring?
Lean into that because I
I
want
can
to be sure.
speak to this.
Oh, really?
your interpretation.
Here we go.
No, because I have a very recent example. Can you just ask the question one more time so I can contextualize?
I said, do you feel like men like tend to value a woman more who's safe?
Okay. So let's just use my time on Ready to Love as a perfect example, right? So I had two connections. I had two people that I was choosing between, right? And one of the guys had one of the girls that was on his ass since day one, before she even knew him, right? Day one, she was like, you my person, right? So through that, he didn't really have to put as much effort. Like he knew that was more of a safer, that was a sure thing versus if he put himself out there for me, I was the one that was deciding between him and somebody else. So the safer choice would be her because she was all in, less effort, more for sureness, more she was down for. I mean, it was just like, it didn't even matter what he did. He didn't even do shit. And she was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of men, I do believe, do go with the safer choice because it's just more of a guarantee versus going with someone else that may have a lot of options or someone else that is making choices. And then you have to wait to see if they choose you. A lot of men's egos don't want to go through that. And I've seen this happen a few times and then it happened again on this show. So, I mean, I think that a lot of men do choose what's safer. And I mean, if I'm in their shoes, that's smart. So, because in the end, you're gonna end up with somebody for sure, because you've chosen the person that you know that's a guarantee, you know? So, yeah.
I agree with Kayla, but my safer is a woman that is not influenced or doesn't have a lot of influences. A woman that doesn't need to be on social media, doesn't have a lot of girlfriends. A woman that doesn't care too much about what is going on in this world. She's more so into doing what she needs to do for herself, becoming a woman or a wife or whatever she wants to do. That's a safer place for a man to be because he would have more he would be the one influencing her more than girlfriends or social media and things like that. So a man would want a woman that's safer, and that's what I consider safer.
I think that if we're going with a man is choosing safer, then every woman that's in a relationship would have to assume you're not his first choice. If that's your argument. So the man you with, you weren't his first choice. So you're the safe choice. Is that what we're saying? Is that how you're assessing? No, is that how you're assessing yourselves?
It sounds like that to me.
That could be the case.
If I say it again, it goes back to the best option. If you want to speak to statistics, do I want a woman who's going to be out of line, who's going to talk back to me, who could possibly cheat on me, who always going out, hanging out in the club, in the streets?
The extreme.
Do I want to go that route? No, that ain't extreme because that's today. No, stop it. Time out. Time out. No. We're not doing that.
That
We're
was
not
showing
doing that.
interest, just like you.
Time out. I just gave 6, 7 examples. So would a man want to choose a woman that route, which sounds like trouble, or do I want a woman who's going to be more compatible with me, who's going to listen, who's going to have conversations with me, who's going to be honest, who's not out every weekend, every other weekend, who's not worried about the outside stuff. Like just like Queen Boss said, like the security boss said, like who do I want to go with? Same thing with women. If y'all flip it, do y'all want a man who always out in the club, always in women's faces? And no, you're gonna choose the man who's treating you right, take you out on dates, like being a gentleman. So we doing the same thing.
Okay, I would have to say no, because I remember when I was dating, it was a guy that wanted to pursue me, and when I looked at his social media, he was always in a club. He always posting girls shaking their ass, and I'm like, bro, like you not ready for what I'm ready for. You're always in the club.
That's my point.
I told him, I said, it seems like you're not ready to date. It seems like you're always in the club. So no, thank you. And I went with somebody that was on the same vibe as me. Not to say that he was boring or safe. Right. It was just we were looking for the same things.
I'm sorry. Were you just taking a pause? Okay. I'm gonna say I think that they like safe because safe is predictable. You know what safe is gonna do. You know safe is gonna be at home. You know safe is gonna always choose to be. That's why I said boring. They're not gonna be spontaneous first. Not saying that boring is a bad thing. I could have sworn we talked about that, and boring is a good thing.
Boring is good.
Yeah, so I'm saying boring in the fact of somebody in the chat just said it. Derek Jackson's wife would be considered safe. But safe got her sitting at home once the man elevated because he didn't choose a woman that he preferred. He settled for wherever he was. Safe also gets the short end of the stick, where if she's looking outside the window watching people have fun with her partner, and sometimes it could be on the flip side the same way. When you have a partner who is not safe, because we're talking about balance. I've never seen, y'all can help me, I've never seen two boring people together. One person is pretty much more the life than the other person, to balance each other out. So usually, even if you go to somebody's house for a barbecue or holidays and the husband is more of the friendly one and stuff like that, it may make the other person that's safer feel uncomfortable or whatever the case may be. I like that OT said compatibility. So if a safer, boring person fits your lifestyle, then yeah, I think that's who you should choose, and that would be the best option. But most of the time, people have certain careers where they don't just want a girl or a person just sitting by the corner. They want you to be lively. They want you to be bubbly. Sometimes that can be not considered boring, or that can be a different type of safe as well. I think that sometimes we think just because they can go have a drink with their friends, they're not considered safe. That's just my thought.
I'm trying to figure out how having drinks with your friends or doing anything outside of your house. Because if you're single and childless, you're mad because I'm at Topgolf this weekend, and then next weekend I'm going to Sugar Rooftop, and then the weekend after that I'm going to brunch on the water. Why are you mad I'm doing shit? Can I not do activities? What's going on?
It just depends on the activity.
Like how do you dress? Like a safe girl is gonna dress
cute.
But she has the same thing that you have, Lucky. She's just not showing it. But when I can go really deep on this. I'm trying to let me jump in real quick.
No. But that's another thing, Queen Sheba.
The safe church girl be the ones the most unsafe.
They be the freakiest. They be the freakiest and the nastiest. That's the truth.
Okay, let me say this about Derek Jackson. He didn't pick a safe girl. He groomed a safe girl. He groomed her. Okay, there's a grooming. He groomed her. If you go back to see what she looked like prior to what she looks like now, he groomed her as a cover for him. Right? He groomed her. He put her in that church. So he pulled her identity away from her and made her into what he needed her to be while he lived a completely different life. He didn't choose her. He groomed her. Yeah. Right. So there's levels to this depending on the man that we're talking about. I think he's a bad example though.